to block an upcoming ban. This is according to what's called the information, which says if the court doesn't act and TikTok goes ahead with the plan, users would see a message in the app directing them to a website that has more details. President-elect Trump has asked the Supreme Court to delay any ban, but with one looming, several other Chinese apps have seen a surge in popularity in the U.S., and one of them, a photo-sharing service called Lemon 8, comes from, as well, TikTok's parent company, ByteDance.
Meantime, the operator of the main pipeline moving gasoline from the U.S. Gulf Coast to the East Coast says it is now shutting its transit route due to a potential spill near Atlanta. Colonial Pipeline telling CNBC yesterday that crews were on the scene in Paulding County, Georgia, coordinating response efforts. Colonial's Line 1 moves about 1.5 million barrels of gas each day from Houston, Texas to North Carolina, where it pumps to northeastern markets, including, we should mention, right here in New York.
And the Federal Trade Commission has prepared a lawsuit against tractor giant Deere, alleging that its repair practices violated competition law. That's according to a Bloomberg report that says the agency could file that case as soon as this week. The report says that the suit will accuse the tractor maker of withholding key information and diagnostic tools from farmers and independent repair shops. That means that owners are often required to go to dealerships for diagnosis and repairs that require Deere's proprietary software. The agency's been looking into Deere's repair practices since 2021.
Part two here, or I don't know what part actually for South Korea, but that corruption investigation office arresting now the country's leader. It sounds like deja vu, but it didn't work the first time. This was the second time authorities had tried to detain President Yoon following his brief declaration of martial law. You might recall back in early December. The first arrest attempt took place on January 3rd. It failed when agents from South Korea's Presidential Security Service blocked investigators from entering Yoon's residence. Now, you might recall Yoon was impeached for the short-lived martial law declaration, and according to translations of reports from Korea, Yoon said he would appear before the corruption investigation office to, in his words, prevent an unpleasant bloodshed. We'll stay tuned to that. Up next, the number of the morning, December CPI, Squawk Box, is coming.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. A little bit of a sell-off last night. It wasn't the overnight pump, but looks like we're putting some momentum in to get back above it. Also, the CPI numbers coming out good could definitely help out. Still, the number to break is 292. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great start to the day. Make sure to smash the like button. Let's get everyone in here early. We got CPI numbers coming out. Scotty steak and eggs. Yes, Scotty. Can't get too much into it on the live stream, but you can always shoot me an email. Colin, good to see you, man. The world is yours. Good morning. CPI numbers coming out in about 4 minutes. Smash the like button. Let's get everyone in before those CPI numbers come in. Thank you, everyone, for helping out on that. A little bit of a late start. It's so funny. Whenever I take the morning off of the gym, it's like I'll get up at 5 for the gym and I'll be up and moving, and it's like an easy wake up for me. But I sleep in a little bit, and that throws me off. 6 eggs in leg day. That's good. I like that. See, I prefer to eat after the gym, honestly. I'm more of an eat after the gym guy, but Scotty, it's kind of like a gray area. I can, but just kind of keeping things on the DL for now. Trading volume still a bit low. Well, yeah, we'll take a look at this in a minute, but one of the things we were watching last night was that this move is almost entirely spot driven. Like, this is an entirely spot move, which is extremely bullish. Also, guys, as we wait for those CPI numbers to come back real quick, XP Market sponsored the live streams has a new challenge going on to unlock new tokens. Make sure to check that out.
CPI data. We are looking at an increase in consumer inflation. Market ahead of that has been pretty calm, cool, and collected. In fact, you're now looking at the Dow futures up by 225 points, S&P futures up by 22, the NASDAQ up by 88. A lot of what you're seeing is some confidence after better than expected earnings coming from the big banks this morning. We're going to be watching that very closely as well. Also watching what's been happening with the Treasury market. Take a look at where things stand right now. It looks like the 10-year is yielding 4.75. The 2-year is at 4.32. You've got the 30-year, which is at 4.95, so just below 5%. Yesterday, we got cooler than anticipated numbers for producer inflation, and that had the market really kind of taking off for the moment. It was a short-lived rally through much of the course of the day. The NASDAQ actually ended lower, and you had the S&P ending up by just 11 points at the end of the session. Today, we'll see where things stand because producer prices don't necessarily indicate what you will see with consumer prices. But again, a lot riding on this number and the Fed's expectation of what it will do as a result. Rick Santelli is standing by at the CME in Chicago. And Rick, we've got about 20 seconds before we get these numbers.
Let's go. Smash the like button for positive CPI.
Yeah, it's a lot riding on it.
Whoa,
Yesterday, we
whoa. We just got a huge candle on XRP.
Month on PPI, but the year over year was still sticky, well over 3%, even though some mild progress.
Oh, numbers are in.
Same may be true today. We want to pay very close attention year over year on retail inflation. And here we go. Consumer Price Index for December comes out up 0.4 on the headline, exactly as expected. To find a higher number than 0.4, you're going all the way back to August of 2023 when it was up 0.5%. Strip out the all-important food and energy, up 0.2, 1/10 cooler than we expected, 1/10 cooler than the rear view mirror, up 0.2. How does that comp? We equal July of 24. Find a lower number, you go back to June of 24. Year over year numbers, here we go. On the headline, year over year, up 2.9. As expected, and I always question how much more important as expected is to the fact that it's 0.2 higher than our last look, which was 2.7. To find a number higher than 2.9, you're going to June of last year. And finally, on the year over year core, it's 3.2%. 1/10 lighter than the rear view mirror, 1/10 lighter than expectations. But, 3.2 is a little bit of progress. It equals where we were in August. Now, that equals August. To find a lower number, you're really going in the way back machine. You have to find a 3% number, and that's all the way back in April of 21. Now, many don't look at the indices. I look at the indices. This really says it all. Okay, if you look at the CPI index, started in 1913, it now is 315.605. 315.605. That's the second highest number ever. The highest, the record, was October of 24. If you look at this, pretty much every month we make new all-time highs. So it's nice that we pulled back just a smidge. And if we look at the year-over-year, core, going all the way back to 1957, 323.38. That is a new all-time high. What does that tell me? We could look at these numbers based on expectations like we do, but the reality is, even yesterday, if you looked at some of these smaller month-over-month numbers, it just means that the inflation rate is growing more slowly. It isn't going in reverse, and that's what these indices tell us, that virtually anybody out there watching that isn't an economist, they feel the pressure of rising prices, and it's a pressure that very much never seems to ease off. We don't normally see a lot of negative numbers. And speaking of negative numbers, there's one I haven't pointed out yet. Empire was also out. January number, kind of real time, minus 12.6. Minus 12.6 would be the weakest, going back to minus 15 and change in May of last year. So we still see that manufacturing is a bit curtailed. Interest rates moving significantly lower here, significantly lower. Maybe it was the month-over-month core. Maybe it's the fact that we came in as or a little light on expectations, what the market prepared for. But like yesterday, we want to watch the secondary and tertiary responses as we get closer to the opening of equities, because it may be a very short-lived rally pushing yields down. And I do want to point out that we have traded slightly on an intraday basis above 480 in a 10. We touched 5% yesterday briefly in a 30, and the dollar index, well, even though it isn't monetized now on Monday, it was at a 26-month high close. Becky, back to you.
Okay, Rick, stay right there. A lot of analysis. We need more from you, but we also want to bring in the rest of our panel. Priya Misra, who is fixed income portfolio manager at JP Morgan Asset Management. Our very own senior economics reporter, Steve Leisman, and Peter Bookvar, who is chief investment officer at Bleakley Advisory Group, also a CNBC contributor. Steve, why don't you walk us through what you are seeing as you dig down into these numbers?
Well, it's a good number. I think it's important. Actually, Rick was using a different consensus, 0.4. We had 0.3 from the Dow Jones consensus. I'm not sure which one Rick is using.
On the headline, month over month.
On the headline, but the important thing is we both agree the core was lower than expected at 0.2, and it looks okay. It doesn't look, like I said earlier in the last hour, the PPI downside surprise took some of the edge off an upside surprise today, and I think that came to pass. The big number, the number that both of our guests asked before right away, was the owner's equivalent rent number. That was up 0.3. We were doing 0.5, 0.6s, big numbers there. Now it's more contained, a 0.3 after a 0.2. You did have apparel was well contained. New vehicles up 0.5, used cars up 1.5%. That helped it. But take a look at commodities. Let's do services, less energy. That was up 0.3%. So not terrific. You need to do 0.2s to get to 2%. But Becky, we'll take it. It's a good number. You can see how concerned the market has been with this possibility that inflation was going to get out of control. So this now sort of says, all right, the Fed can be on hold, but we don't have to talk about this thing that Joe likes to talk about, which is what, you know, the idea of hiking rates.
We're now looking at the 10-year falling below 4.7%, 4.69.
And
All right, there we go. Looks like we got a pretty big candle come in for XRP. I was kind of trying to show both there. Let's see. We had this massive candle come in. A little bit of a sell-off since then, but things are looking pretty good. A lot of people are talking about the SEC filing today. The SEC will file today. There's no question about it. They have until tonight to do it. They'll probably do it last minute. They might even do it tomorrow. The SEC will come in whenever they feel like it. So wouldn't worry too much about that. Not really the thing to be paying attention to. The thing to be paying attention to is really going to be after we get that change up in the SEC. Right, what things look like then. But it's important just to be realistic and understand that if Gary Gensler went out suing Elon Musk, I don't think he's going to go out easy against Ripple either. It's not like Ripple, to be fair, has been the biggest fan of Gary either, so. Important just to keep things in that frame of reference. But it does look good on the chart. Brought us all the way back up to where we were trading last night. Overall, I think the numbers are pretty good. And we can take a quick look at an inflation chart as well. I think that would be pretty interesting to take a quick peek at. Just to see where these numbers come in the larger data set. I just don't want to miss a move by XRP right here. Does look, this is like XRP could make a pretty sizable move. Let's take a quick look at inflation. Oh, we got to go off log. Whoops. All right, so there are the inflation numbers. As you can see, 2.9 is what we came in on. And as you can see, we're really trading kind of in his historical range right now. It's hard for me to be overly worried about inflation when we're in here. Now, it'd be great to see it come down a little bit more into that 2% range. But I mean, to be completely honest with you guys, as you can see, inflation is often out of this range and often below. It's like a kind of a Goldilocks when we can keep it inside of here. There's just nothing, in my opinion, to be overly concerned about at the moment. Zooming out and taking a look at these numbers. So there's inflation. We just printed this 2.9, and hopefully next month we get a little bit of a tick lower and we continue to kind of push down into this range and we trade in that 2% range for a bit. I think a lot of people are pretty used to crazy inflation numbers. I don't know. To me, it seems like a lot of that is really behind us. It's important to realize we had COVID here. COVID sent inflation skyrocketing, and now we're moving past a lot of the COVID stuff. So all good news there, in my opinion. I don't see anything even remotely to be concerned about there. Eleanor Tarrant will post updates for us on the SEC. Yeah, absolutely. She'll be on it. And guys, this is actually pretty cool. It looks like we almost have our second XRP issued token. So token issued on the XRP ledger breaking 100 mil. Looks like that's going to be the Army token. The build out of the amount of projects on the XRP ledger, even if a lot of them are meme coins, is incredible. I mean, it just brings in a lot more people to the XRP ledger. A lot of these meme coins are people, former Solana people, who now seem to be migrating to the XRP ledger, which is insane. And really great to see. NFT volume is also up big. They're great to see kind of markets being built out there. The AMM should be at a new all-time high in terms of TVL. Take a look. Volume's increasing. TVL is at an all-time high. Yep. Close to 60 million in TVL. Take a look at the amount of nodes on the network. 957 nodes, 185 validators. And we'll take a quick look at amendments. No real progress on the amendments yet. Little quick run through of some of those XRP metrics for you guys. It looks like XRP right now is pulling back a little bit off that initial pump, but hard for me to imagine we pull back this entire thing. Let me kind of show you the number we want to break. So this bar right here is really supposed to represent this. I'm just trying to break out of this previous high here. This is what we're trying to get above. We can blast through here. Then the last thing we have left is the previous all-time high in 2017. That's why we're watching that. All right, let me jump into the chat a little bit. Wow, 2,000 people in here. That's awesome, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Exit out of the live chat. Drop a quick like on the stream. Super, super, super helpful. Good luck, Bandman. Anyone know how to create a node? Bandman, there's a class on how to do that. Someone by the name of Chris on X, I've reposted the class a bit, and it'll break down how to actually create a node and validator. If you have any amount of coding skills or anything like that, I would absolutely consider taking that course. Chris Dangerfield. I just reposted it for you, Bandman, so it should be on my X feed right now towards the top. If you're interested in taking a course, learning more about the XRP ledger, that is now available on my feed. So if you have any kind of coding skills or any kind of computer skills, I highly suggest people check that out. Really, one of the biggest things that the XRP community has lacked for a while was people in the community running infrastructure. It's something that the Bitcoin community does very well, but something that the XRP community has really lacked for a while. But if we can kind of change that, it would destroy one of the biggest FUD points against the XRP ledger. And we actually have an explosion of people doing that now. I think the more we can get it kind of like a cultural thing to be running an XRP validator, the better. XRP's trying to get that next move going. Trying to turn around and put it in that green candle. See if it can do it. Kind of surprised how big that candle was that came in this morning for those good inflation numbers. Really ripped up there. Super Lippy, you have to join the group that's pinned on my X page. So learn more about pre-IPO Ripple. That's going to be right here. Free month. You are interested in that, make sure to go check that out. You are interested in pre-IPO Ripple. Also, XDC nodes in there also for people looking to join a group to delegate XDC. Two pretty cool things happening in there. And that is pinned on my X profile, as well as a code to get a free month off. Oh, who's the guy who can make the XRP rings? That's T-Boone. We'll check out his profile. Great guy, too. Great guy. Yeah, I think of beauty. Massive shout out to him. I'd definitely go check out his stuff. T-Boone8. T-Boone_8 or T-Boone and then just 8. Oh, awesome. HK Todd says, I highly recommend the Beyond Broke Mastermind. Well worth the money. Great to hear. Okay, this candle direction is looking positive. Let's see if we can get that next move up. I like this. We got some time as well. I don't have to jump off anytime soon. Oh, I'm finally like waking up here. Got enough coffee in my system at this point where I'm almost back to a human being. Da-da-da. Come on, man. I want to see a nice big green candle take us above that 291 mark. XRP now is a larger market cap than Disney. Interesting little stat there. You're going to see those popping up a lot as XRP continues to pass some of the biggest companies on earth. See if anything else is interesting happening this morning. We can check out CoinGlass too. Wow. Take a look at this Bitcoin flipping ETH chart. I mean, XRP flipping ETH chart. They're really converging towards that flipping happening. Oh man, I can't wait to flip ETH. Flipping ETH is going to be a big moment. Going to completely change the perception around XRP. And there's like no question in my mind we're flipping ETH. Come on, make this red candle green. I know they said there was a big sell wall of orders at Binance and Coinbase at around 294. So it looks like we're just trying to break through that sell wall. God, I only saw half your message there. It's got like redacted or some reason. Ben, man, that's awesome. So glad to hear you're doing well. Moving too slow? Yeah, we need some acceleration. Oh, whoops. I meant to show this. Ooh, oh, man. XRP dominant seems to be ripping. I mean, every XRP metric is like... Oh, there we go. Come on, baby. Velo looking nice too. Yeah, I have to do a bit more research into Velo. Don't know a ton about it. I'm overall pretty skeptical towards most cryptocurrencies. I like to keep it pretty tight, but do know a lot of smart people who are into Velo. Think I just need to see a little bit more. You know, for a long time for me, it was like, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff out there, but oh, nice HK Todd. Yeah, it's how I don't know what about it is like I just don't love drinking hot drinks that much. So cold brew is the perfect combination because I try not to drink. I try not to just load myself up with energy drinks, and so I got to get the caffeine somehow. Boz589. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I appreciate it. Can someone just give me like a quick, like, what is the purpose of Velo? That'd be great. Oh, how I got the name Mickle because I'm Irish. It's really just a play on my last name, and my friends used to just it just got spun up one day in high school, and like all my friends, we all have like 4 or 5 nicknames for each other, and that's just the one that stuck for me. And when I was going to make my YouTube channel, it's like, all right, well, we'll shoot with this. Everyone always loved the name in high school. It was really a joke because my last name is McLaughlin, so it was Connor Mick, and then the next letter was L, so then it turned into Mickle, and then it was just like a funny way to spell Mickle rather than just like MCL. Thank you, Daniel. Oh, that's how you got Taylor. What was the breezy? Is it a play in your last name as well? Interesting. See, I'm skeptical of anything that's like, that's the thing. Like someone just said Velo is like Asian XRP. Like I'm skeptical of all of that. Do you know how many times I've heard that before? In terms of like, oh, this is South Korea's XRP. This is South Korea's Ethereum. Like all these different things. Like the end of the day, it doesn't really make sense from a liquidity perspective. Like all these other countries are just going to use the most liquid, best cryptocurrency. And you know, if they start with VLO and then later change their mind and they say, oh, we should be using XRP, they'll just go for XRP. So need a bit more than that, to be honest with you guys. Like I say, not that I have anything wrong with VLO, it's just that, you know, every dollar in VLO is a dollar I can't have in XRP. So for a while, it was a hard decision to make. When XRP really goes crazy and gets to the point, it's like, all right, what else is out there? Maybe then. But as Matty G would say, I think XRP is still the star of the show. Matty G, star of the show. If you know, you know. That guy was something. Oh. That's how you date yourself a little bit on XRP YouTube. Oh, yeah, man. That was a funny one. Oh, boy. All central banks. Yeah, I just prefer things that are complements to XRP rather than replacements, and maybe Velo can be a complement to XRP. I just don't understand the point of having another XRP, like an Asian XRP. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I'm probably missing something. Matty G was... I agree. I thought Matty G was pretty funny. Definitely a nut job, but I thought he was funny. I definitely tuned into a couple too many videos, not because I thought was like, oh, this is good content, just because it was like, what is this psycho going to be up to next? It wants to make that next jump so bad. We're just kind of whenever we get that momentum, we're getting hitting that sell wall, and we're just taking out all the orders in that sell wall right now. It's like big buy comes in, sell comes in, big buy comes in, sell wall comes in. Eventually, we get right through that sell wall. We're actually coiling up a little bit here. We can flip this candle around. We go to a shorter time frame and see if I can show you what I'm talking about. Might be visible on the 2-minute. Got a little bit of a base forming and maybe even a little bit of a top. Now this is much harder to do on the shorter time frames, but we'll see if we kind of coil up in here before the next break. Daniel, good to see you, man. BTC almost 100K. Well, that's going to help. Yep, BTC 99.16 right now. Wonder what XRP volume looks like right now. Wow, Solana's all the way down to number 6. Solana's down to number 6. Volume about 2 million. XRP with 15 bill. Wow. XRP's trying to flip Ethereum in volume right now. Insanity. Wow, XRP to number 3, Solana to number 6. With 15 bill, blowing everything else out of the water right now, and even just a little bit under Ethereum. That is beautiful. That's a beauty right there. CNBC talking. Just went to CNBC. It looked like Kramer was talking. I doubt they're going to be talking about crypto. What do you think about deploying a similar strategy to XRP like Michael Saylor did for BTC? I don't actually hate it. I think I would like it to be a lot more conservative than what MicroStrategy is doing with BTC. Let me show you guys one of the really cool things about XRP right now. One of the really cool things about XRP right now is that the entire move we're watching has very little leverage in it. So take a look at this. This is the XRP move we're watching right now. And as you can see, this is when we first got to that local all-time high. There's obviously a lot of leverage building up in the system. There's almost no leverage right now. So this is all spot market buying, which is like people genuinely wanting the tokens, not just trying to play XRP's price. Oh, and it looks like we had a big inflow number here. Almost 116 mil. Wow. That's a lot of inflows coming into XRP. Wow, right when that CPI number came out, actually. 21 mil in inflows right when that CPI number came out. That's super interesting. I don't think I was necessarily expecting to see XRP react so much to that. Seems like we're starting to see the algorithmic traders starting to pay attention to XRP on things like CPI, which is cool to see because it just means it's gaining a lot of mind share in that more traditional financial community. But it is really positive to see XRP doing as well as it is without any leverage moving it. So as much as I would say I'm interested in a Michael Saylor strategy, I also love the fact that there's no leverage in XRP at the moment. Someone just put out an interesting post about XRP. Looks like he's not a traditional XRP guy. This guy right here, Dan, says, incredible. Never seen an asset so hated, especially by CryptoX. This thing that has absolutely killed it. One of the greatest returning assets of all time. 99% was wrong. The market has been right. Congrats, Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple. Who is this guy, though? Very popular. So it looks like he has two pretty big funds. That's really cool to see. I mean, this is one of the things I've been saying. XRP goes up in price. You see all these people coming out of the woodwork saying suddenly very pro XRP. Not saying that's necessarily the case with him, because I love any new person supporting XRP, but man, that's great. That's great. Shout out to XP Market, also sponsor of the channel. Liquidity pools, AMM pools, swapping, DEX features. If you ever want to get into any XRP Ledger tokens, I highly suggest you check out XP Market. All kinds of different marketplaces and stats you can check out. That's super interesting, though. He's about to go mega viral for this post, too. He's going to be even more pro XRP. Oh, this guy's a Bitcoin Oh, Laura Shin. Let's see this. This could be interesting.
Just on XRP in particular, because the chart is like truly insane to look at. If you like take a zoom out and look at a daily or a weekly chart, it's literally just like peaks in 17, goes all the way down. Peaks in 21 again, a little lower than before, goes all the way down. And then it's literally just like 4 days, like triples, right? Like it's a straight line up. Right now, as we talk, it's like at 260 or something, 275, right? And this, I think this is maybe the most hated rally in crypto that I've ever seen. I don't know anyone in the institutional world or crypto funds that own this. All the OG crypto traders, Bitcoiners, they all hate Ripple and XRP. So I think this might be maybe the most painful rally for the crypto native investment class that I've seen in a long time.
I think I've actually seen that before. Let him miss out, let him come late, and let him realize that we understood this the entire time. Be my guest. I'll delete this. It looks like this isn't really flying out. Love to see new people talking about XRP though that typically haven't. Like that's mega bullish. Taking over that mind share. All right, guys, with that said, I'm going to jump. We covered it this morning. Guys, thank you so much for coming. I will be live later, most likely, because of the direction XRP is going right now. Let's hope we can get some breakout at some point today.